I love Trish so much, and I really want to be with her and make this work. But right now, it feels like I'm hanging on by a thread.
Seems like his life is falling apart as I'm coming. But I really like him, and I'm starting to fall for him. So I just want to give this a chance. The last thing I thought possible was 1, to bring Chris, and 2, to take me to a bar the second I landed at the airport.
Oh, Elise! Nice to finally see you. This new show is hardly even new anymore. Before the 90 days started over 2 months ago, Elise was all over the trailers and all of the promotional material, and yet her story has only just started. It started last week. So what's the deal? Well, believe it or not, already her new love has started to let her down. Yeah, you get the feeling that this new relationship is yet another train wreck. There's probably not much footage left to last many more weeks. But talking of train wrecks, the last time we saw Trisha and Rick, he just admitted to her that he'd been cheating. Surely she's not forgiving him already and taking him back, is she? Well, let's dive into the drama and kick things off with Elise, who we join as she's packing her bags ready to go to Australia.
The day is here. I cannot believe that I'm about to get on my flight to Sydney, Australia for the first time to meet Joshua in person. I feel like I'm in a dream.
Right, so given that Elise's hunt for love didn't work out for her, she's found new love across the world in Australia. Now, the problem is, she hasn't met this new guy in person before. So now, to see if he is indeed as great as she thinks he is, she hopes he is, she's embarking on a trip across the world to see him. And it's safe to say that she's very excited, she's very hopeful about how things will work out. Especially as their long-distance relationship up until this point has been very hard on her.
It's been 6 months since I've had sex, which is the longest time I've gone without sex since I've been a freshman in high school. I'm literally a born-again virgin.
Since a freshman at high school? What, so since she was 14 or 15 years old? Wow, Elise really just said the quiet part out loud and proud. I mean, frankly, abstaining for just 6 months between the ages of 14 or 15 and 32, as she is now, really doesn't make you a born-again virgin, Elise. Far from it. I mean, we all saw just how thirsty she was the very first night that she met Rob back at the retreat. Like, we know just from that show how impulsive Elise is, how she likes to jump into things, and she is very sexual. This is a lady that definitely acts first, leads from the heart, and thinks about the consequences later. Now, at the same time, she is very keen to stress that she's planning on moving far more slowly with Joshua, her new boyfriend. She wants their connection to be deeper than just physical. Besides, it's not as if they're going to have loads of privacy. You see, to Elise's shock, there will, in fact, be a third wheel accompanying them this trip.
I feel very strange that I'm going to be staying with Joshua and also a roommate. It seems like I'm going in a throuple here.
Oh no, please, no. We don't need another throuple on this show. One was more than enough. Now, luckily, this time it's all down to finances and not romance. You see, last week, Elise shared with her friends that Joshua is staying with his parents currently because he can't afford to live alone. Now, this is a slight cause for concern, especially given that Elise comes from a very wealthy family. Her dad is a venture capitalist, and she has a track record of attracting guys who are just with her for her money. In fact, she told us that one of her exes apparently stole her identity and racked up a credit card bill of over $500,000 in her name. So yeah, there is a lot of concern, especially from her friends and family, that Joshua might also be the same. Now, she tells us that despite his financial difficulties, he has rented a place for them to stay while she's in Australia. But the problem is, seeing as he can't afford to pay for it alone, he's had to enlist the help of his friend, Chris.
If Joshua was honest with me about his living situation up front, I definitely would have split half and half with him. I guess he was just trying to be nice, and I don't want to offend him, so whatever. I'm just gonna roll with it.
Oh, okay, great. So she hasn't even finished packing her bags, and already we're learning that Joshua has been dishonest with her, and that she would have been willing to financially assist him. Is history about to repeat itself? Has she learnt from her past mistakes? Well, she says she's just gonna roll with it, but you get the impression she's probably gonna have to just roll with a lot of things in this relationship. Now, Elise's friend comes to pick her up and take her to the airport. But on the way, it becomes very clear that she's worried about Elise, and there might be quite a few reasons for her to be worried. You see, Elise shares that Joshua has recently found himself in hot water at work.
Joshua took a boat that his company was selling for a joyride with some of his friends and ended up crashing the boat into rocks.
Great. So the red flags really do keep on building, don't they? So Joshua is a yacht broker who's crashed a yacht. That's the equivalent of, like, I don't know, a dentist who punches a patient in the teeth. Hardly paints a picture of someone who's professional or diligent or good at their job, does it? Now, unsurprisingly, Joshua is now on the brink of getting sacked. He's on his final warning at work. And it's not even like he's young and immature. Like, he can't rely on that as an excuse because the guy is almost 40 years old. Like, nearly 40, and he isn't financially stable enough to rent a place on his own, not even a short-term holiday rental. And given that he's also on thin ice at work, his financial issues could very well get a lot worse. But at least Elise does see all of these red flags.
Seems like his life is falling apart as I'm coming, but I really like him and I'm starting to fall for him. So I just want to give this a chance.
Great, so his life is falling apart and she's falling for him simultaneously. It's interesting how Elise has identified the red flags, but then just decided that they're decorations. Now, she attempts to justify her decision to go and meet him by saying that she doesn't want to look back one day and have regrets. So instead, she's taking the shot, the chance at love, and moving forward. Or at least she would, if that is, she could get out the country and board the plane. You see, it looks like the universe might be trying to tell her something.
I get to the airport and they're like, your visa is denied. Oh my God, I'm literally my pants.
No, please, Elise, not you as well. I really hope you don't literally your pants because we've already had that once this episode. Like, if you missed that drama, then I'll leave a link to Lisa and Daniel's disgusting developments at the end of this video. And hey, this might be a good opportunity to remind you, if you enjoy my videos, can you just double check that you've hit that subscribe button, please? YouTube tells me that over 60% of people watching this right now have watched multiple of my videos in the last few weeks, but aren't yet subscribed. Is that you? Do me a favour, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free and it really does help my channel. It helps to ensure that I can continue making 4 to 5 videos every single week for your entertainment. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. So, with that being said, Elise is freaking out. She tells us that when she applied for a tourist visa to go to Australia, it was instantly approved. But now in the airport in the States, the system keeps saying that her visa was denied. Now, fortunately for her, she has a nice guy that's helping her who keeps on trying to find out what the problem is. And eventually, they manage to sort everything out. It does go through.
Give me a high five. Let's get this dodge going. Thank God. They got it. Thank you so much. If I wasn't about to go meet the love of my life, I would ask you for your number.
Maybe you should get that number anyway, Elise, just in case. Now, with her visa issue now finally sorted out, Elise boards her plane and starts the long journey to go and meet Joshua. Now, in the meantime, over in Australia, Josh is nervous but has high hopes for this meeting. He has high hopes for his relationship with Elise.
She could be the one. Elise is beautiful. But what I love about Elise is that she's an unbelievable listener and you can tell she cares.
Now, Joshua gets very dressed up to go meet her at the airport. Maybe even a little overdressed, if I'm honest. But he's not the only one. Chris is going with him too, and he's also very dressed up. Why? Well, it turns out that they have plans for this evening. Straight after picking Elise up, they're actually headed off to a bar to watch the horse racing. This event, they tell us, the Melbourne Cup horse race, is usually an event that we attend in person. We love going together, they say.
It's an excuse to dress up and have a few drinks. We're going to whisk her straight off the plane and straight to watch the race. She says she's spontaneous, so I think she'll be okay with it.
So Elise is flying 14 hours from the other side of the world, and when she arrives, he's taking her straight to the bar with his mates. I don't think spontaneous is the right word for that, guys. Now, in the car on the way to the airport, the pair discuss how Elise will fit into their friendship group. Chris says that he hopes she isn't going to be jealous of Nat. So, who is Nat, you might ask? Well, according to Joshua, she's a very caring friend. So caring, in fact, that she's allowed him to live with her for 3 months. But hold on a second. That's not what he told Elise.
Okay, wait, let me step back for 1 second, because Elise said that you told her you were living with your parents.
Oh. No.
This guy just gets better and better, doesn't he? So not only is he broke, careless, inconsiderate and at risk of getting fired from his job, but we now also find out he's been lying to Elise about something pretty major before they've even met. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but he hardly seems like a prize right now, does he? Now, the one slight glimmer of hope here is that he does have some self-awareness. Like, he does realise that his situation is a problem.
I don't have a lot of stability in my life at the moment, and I know that's important to a girlfriend. But I hope she can see that I'm ready to get really serious.
Right, okay, right, sure. So, no job security, no apartment, he's lied about where he lives, and the very first thing he's going to do when Elise lands is take her to a bar to watch horse racing. Sure, Joshua, yeah, sure, you're definitely ready to get serious. Yeah, right. Now, inside the airport, Chris graciously offers to stand back a little bit in order to give Joshua a little bit of space to greet Elise. But the problem is, Elise has already seen his social media post that both of them are waiting for her, and that is starting to freak her out. It's annoying her that Joshua can't even come to greet her on his own. But when they do actually meet face to face, suddenly all of Elise's doubts just disappear.
Oh, come here, give me a hug. Hello.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Elise is shaking, but she's happy to see him. They're just both excited to finally meet and be able to touch. Now, Elise says that she can't believe how natural it feels being with him. She says that just from their hug, it feels like she's known him for years. But, unfortunately, they don't have too much time to savour that connection and savour the moment. You see, they need to get going. When Chris joins them, Joshua breaks the news to Elise that they're going out right now.
I know it's bad timing, but after a few tequilas, you won't even forget that you haven't showered or put makeup on or done your hair.
Yep. And time is a factor, so...
Yeah.
Time is a factor, they say. Like, the horse race is clearly more of a priority than the woman that's crossed the Pacific to be here. I mean, what a great plan. Their plan for tonight appears to be to have her drink enough tequila, get her drunk enough to not care or worry about the fact that she hasn't had a shower in over a day. Now, you can clearly see that Elise isn't exactly comfortable with this, but she agrees to go along with it. She goes with the flow. But the thing that she hates about this is that everyone is dressed up while she still has her travelling outfit on. Now, Chris, trying to make a joke of that, says she's no doubt got something to wear in that huge pile of bags that she has with her. But Elise doesn't take that as a joke. She sees that as more of a challenge.
Each boy grab a suitcase and open it up.
So just like that, as quickly as she can, Elise finds a dress that she likes and heads to the bathroom to change and get ready to go out. I mean, it's pretty impressive. Like, she's prepared to get changed in an airport bathroom in 15 minutes after a 14-hour flight in a bid to try and impress the guy that's lied about where he lives. I mean, yeah, that's commitment. Now, Elise says that she just hopes Joshua can see and appreciate the effort that she's putting into their relationship already. But, she admits, this definitely isn't how I imagined our first night would go.
The last thing I thought possible was 1, to bring Chris, and 2, to take me to a bar the second I landed at the airport.
But, again, she is being a good sport. She is rolling with it. Now, she says that they have a great connection and she really wants to get to know Joshua. This trip to the bar will be a great opportunity to do that. And while the timing is pretty bad, the plus side is that she's going to get to see him in his element amongst his friends. So after only 15 minutes getting ready in the bathroom, which I imagine is probably a record for her, she comes out ready to rock and roll.
There she is. It looks stunning.
I'm not even wearing underwear.
Oh, well. Just hope it doesn't get too windy.
I mean, announcing that like that, you can definitely say that Elise is going all in here. Subtlety was never likely to be her strategy, was it? So just like that, the new throuple are ready to go on their way. Now, as it turns out, Elise isn't the only woman today to face an unexpected third party in her relationship. You see, over in Madagascar, after Rick has finally admitted to cheating on Trisha, we join the pair of them, with Trisha still in shock. Keep in mind, all of this time, it's been Rick that's been accusing her of cheating, when clearly he's the one with something to hide. Like, his projection was off the charts, and somehow Rick is still trying to convince Trisha that they can still work out. But, unsurprisingly, she isn't so sure.
How can I trust you when you go back to your country? What if...
She's not in my country.
I know she's not in your country, but you could go in Colombia.
Yeah, not being in the same country didn't stop you last time, Rick. That actually it makes it so much worse, doesn't it? Like, it's one thing straying, getting carried away in the heat of the moment, but it's another thing entirely booking a plane trip, boarding a plane, travelling for hours, and then cheating. It's premeditated. He had so many chances to stop himself if he really wanted to. And yet, of course, he didn't. So yeah, how do you trust a guy like that? Still, predictably, Rick promises that it will never happen again. He says he will be faithful from now on.
I just hope that you can forgive me.
You know what's infuriating about this? It's the fact that Rick is somehow acting like he's been wounded too. Like, he might say that he never intended to hurt Trisha, but he did. He made so many choices that made the final pain even worse. I mean, just think about it, right? He could have not cheated, but when he did, he could have told her he should have told her right after it happened. That was a choice. And when he didn't do that either, he made another choice to keep it quiet and sleep with her multiple times, heck, even making her enact his fantasies before telling her. I mean, these were all choices that Rick had, and he made the wrong one each time. But seeing Trisha break down like this gives Rick his opening, and he bends down and begs her for forgiveness.
Jesse hurts so much.
I know, baby. I know you've been hurt in the past.
As much as I wish I could tell you that Trisha doesn't fall for it, she turns around and tells him to go to hell. Unfortunately, she doesn't. Instead, she agrees to try to forgive him. Now, while she isn't yet comfortable enough to let him touch her, she also doesn't leave. And when Rick goes to take a shower, Trisha tells the camera crew that the reason why she's staying with him is because she's already in love with him. But that doesn't mean that she's willing to just forget it ever happened. She's not.
The way he acts, the way he solves problems, it scares me a lot. I don't know if I could trust him again in the future or after this. I don't know.
But she is willing to try, and that in itself is more than Rick deserves. Now, when we join them the next day, the pair are going out to a traditional fighting event. And already, it's clear that Trisha is starting to soften. Like, you can literally see it in real time before our eyes, as Rick teases her, telling her that she can take a shot at him too if she wants. Trisha responds by laughing, teasing, and flirting back.
You have to pick one. If the one you pick win, we do have sex tonight. If the one I pick win, we don't have sex tonight.
Now, Rick's pick does happen to win, but for as excited as that makes Rick, Trisha quickly backtracks on her promise. She says she was only joking. She says she's far from ready to sleep with him again. But this day out has built bridges. It has brought them closer together again. And as they drive back to the hotel, Rick broaches quite a sensitive subject. He wants to know whether Trisha still wants him to meet her father.
I already told my dad that we were here and we are coming to visit them, so I cannot go back.
That isn't exactly an enthusiastic response, is it? She's basically saying here she's taking him to meet her dad, not out of love, but because cancelling would raise questions. It's definitely not a ringing endorsement of him or their relationship. But, thankfully for Rick, she does promise him that she's not going to tell her dad that he cheated on her. My dad, she says, is very protective of me, and it wouldn't go down well if he found out Rick had already hurt me. And let's not forget, just for added context here, Rick is actually older than her dad. Like, no doubt, that fact alone will already put a very protective dad on high alert, you'd imagine. So, with that and everything else considered, Rick is already beginning to feel quite nervous about this meeting.
I'm worried about going there and dealing with their expectations when we're not even in a good place.
It's interesting how Rick's primary concern is managing Trisha's family's expectations when he should, in fact, be more worried about his own behaviour, which is what created the problem in the first place. Like, gee, Rick, why is it that you're not in a good place? Sorry, but I really have zero sympathy for this guy. Now, another reason why Rick is beginning to feel the heat here is because Trisha's family are expecting her to bring back a younger guy. Someone who's excited to one day have children with her. But, of course, Rick isn't sure that he wants another child. I mean, this is gearing up to be a real disaster of a meeting, isn't it? And already, Rick can feel that things are going south.
I love Trish so much, and I really want to be with her and make this work. But right now, it feels like I'm hanging on by a thread.
He feels like he's hanging on by a thread. Boo-hoo, Rick. Like, good. That's what cheating does. Welcome to consequences, Rick. You're lucky to be hanging on at all. You're lucky that you have a thread to hang on. Honestly, Trisha deserves so much better than this guy. And I really, really hope, whether that's by herself or with the help of her family, I hope she finds the self-respect and the strength to kick his ass to the curb and move on with her life. Forget all about this guy.